Yo, K-Kunnnn here. It's that time again. Let's do a recap of the goods and bads of version 1.3 from the characters, story, QOLs, new game modes, and events. So let's get started. With my favorite game mode to which they added this patch was Simulated Battle Trials, which I call SBT for short. Now for new players, you're probably not going to touch this game mode for a while, but for players like me who have like a sizable roster of characters, they will have either the most frustrating and infuriating experience who can't get past floor 15, or they just love the challenge and obtain the big boy badge to flex to the world that they're addicted and they need help. And the players who have pulled for Caesar will have a field day with this one. Though I think if you reach the highest floors, getting hit once or twice will probably get your shield down. Either way, they will have to dodge and pay attention when the boss attacks. But for majority of players and even the Caesar havers have used the avocado boost strat. The one and only S-rank healer in this game, bro. Like surely the devs will make one healer as the time goes on. Personally, I haven't used avocado buoy yet because I don't want to freaking restart. I'm hard stuck on like floor 40. Those freaking twins are freaking obnoxious, man. Though I have heard they just recycle mobs every like 30 floors and people complaining about artificial difficulty. Examples like becoming HP sponges and putting armor steroids onto the bosses rather than adding like new mechanics to the bosses. The removal of the glint indicators, though for me, that's more of a learn the boss's attack patterns rather than just face tanking them. I can totally see this, especially if you keep climbing the tower higher and higher, you will face this issue greatly. It will feel monotonous and a bit mind-numbing. And yes, I've felt it even if I was like hard stuck on floor 40. But then again, for me, this is fun. I like the challenge. I just need to get rid of my skill issue. I think everybody knows this, but if you did not know, there's a special cutscene where you get to talk to some NPCs and the creator of the tower when you reach floor 100. You can just search it up on YouTube for that if you don't want the pain of going to floor 100. Moving on to another game mode that I find myself having mixed feelings about, which is the mystery of Arpeggio Fall, which gives you the limited time bang boo called Night Boo. At first, this event / game mode felt nice and refreshing because I was in CBT hell for a long time, that maybe doing a chill TV exploration session would be nice, and it delivered in that aspect. At first, you start off with Ambi as your holo companion. Of course, it's been a while since I have interacted with the TV system, so it was a nice change of pace, and I was thinking maybe I could just one bang this, and boy oh boy, I was wrong with that. When I finished the first 2 maps, I was already kinda tired because it's probably due to me trying to 100% every floor and stages, getting every possible chest, and taking like 10 minutes to finish one area. So if this game mode / event is still up in the future, I recommend just taking it bit by bit. Don't procrastinate on it and try one banging this event. You're gonna go bald if you try one banging this event. But after I unlocked some characters like Nicole, Nekomiya, and Caesar, everything kinda changed with that, man. You have the 2 core units you want, Nekomiya and Nicole, because they synergize so well. Well, the third one is probably Caesar, but I usually place like Corin, so that's like a flex slot. So Nekomiya provides 100 gold every time she kills an enemy from what I remember, and Nicole can get like 1k attack or more because her attack scales with how much gear coins you have. And that helps me through the stage quickly because Nicole just becomes omega loaded late game. But then again, it got monotonous after a while because I kept playing the same team over and over because it's just too good, man. I don't want to change anything that's already working. So overall, it's an okay event. As long as you don't try one banging this event, just take it slow and bit by bit. And you know what you can one bang right now, and it's not your stepmom? The subscribe button. It'll help me stay in the basement and you'll get some ZZZ content every week or so. So thank you. Now that the permanent stuff is out of the way, let's talk about the characters that came out this patch, which are Yanagi and Lighter. So obviously, we are gentlemen here, so let's start with our overworked office lady, Tsukishiro Yanagi. So Yanagi is another anomaly character that specializes in disordering the enemy's balls, including mine. Wait, what? So her unique disorder mechanic called Polarity Disorder procs whenever an enemy is inflicted with any anomaly attributes without any internal cooldown, making you cause disorder over and over if you can spam her EX skill. And if you have her M2, you basically turn into Xiao, Mr. Lament, and keep dashing over and over until you stop or you have 0 energy left, causing a bigger disorder damage. And speaking of EX skill, by tapping her EX skill, you can switch into different stances called Jogi Shogun, and Kagan that lets you parry pretty much everything as long as you time the switch stance at the right time. It doesn't have to be like a perfect situation because the window is pretty generous, but in most cases, getting obsessed with doing her parry is not good because it doesn't cause any like daze or generate energy. It's there just to protect yourself just in case your dodge is in cooldown or you can't defensive assist or you just want the dopamine rush from the clanging metal sound of the parry. I think in practical scenarios, you're better off just doing her dodge attack and mixing in your stance changes to parry whenever you see the opportunity to do so. Like if you're in the middle of an attack string and you can't dodge or defensive assist, then yeah, the stance change is perfect for that situation. So her partner in crime right now is Bernice, making them the meta Yuri power couple, causing disorder back to back, disintegrating the enemy's HP in Shio defense and daily normal combat modes. I think I would say she's similar to Kafka in HSR. If you don't play HSR, Kafka's basically a character that procs dots on her turn rather than proccing the dots on the enemy's turn. So having her proc disorder with just a hold EX skill is pretty huge on the damage per screenshot aspect. Now rumors are saying she might be good for Miyabi as well, for which I can see the possibility, but we'll have to see and wait until the devs officially release her kit and mechanics, because the current freeze anomaly right now is kinda Yo, future me here, Yanagi causing disorder and then Miyabi getting like fallen frost from those disorder, and then you can just hold her basic attack, bruh. Freaking brain dead team, I'm not gonna lie. So overall, Yanagi is a Giga unit that is a quote-unquote skill-based character, giving you the option to use her stance changes into parrying and timing her disorder proc so that you can maximize the front-loaded disorder damage with her polarity disorder and normal disorder. Now on to the second character with some peak male masculine abs out on the open for free if you did his story quest, lighting up something inside me. Lighter. So Lighter is a quick swap stunner support agent who kinda wants another stun or who can on-field most of the stunning work, while Lighter comes in at around like 70 to 80 in the stun meter to provide ice and fire rest down onto the enemies while extending the stun state for 3 seconds, and lastly providing fire and ice damage bonus if the team has an attacker or someone in the same faction as him. So all this buff will be applied if he has 80 morale points and consumes said points by doing his 5th basic attack, the Aura Aura Punches, and doing his final hit to apply the collapse effect so that you can extend the stun duration of the enemy. Now on-field Lighter is workable, but it's a bit wonky if you're not used to his playstyle, and his first few basic attacks kind of discourages you from on-fielding him. But hey, I don't think Lighter mains will find that as a hurdle, because for some reason Bro can deflect bullets with his Aura Aura Punches, and I don't know if anybody tried it, but I should have tried it at the media server, but I'm sure if he can deflect some small bullets, he can deflect a freaking missile from a robot. Probably a small detail that Lighter havers might have noticed. Is it practical? Kind of, but not really. It's a rare instance, but if it happens, it's kind of funny. Now Lighter is in a position similar to when Topaz and Kafka first released in HSR, where there aren't really many team options or characters to use him on, because right now in version 1.3 we only have Ellen, Soldier 11, and I guess DPS Lucy if you're a bona fide Ocho-sama Desawa enjoyer, or Eve, or I think it was Evelyn, which is Astra's bodyguard slash manager, aka Blonde Yalan, Kafka, whichever like comparison you want to use on her. He's a character that you basically get him early on to use for future upcoming units that are in the fire or ice DPS category, or he's just a character that you will get in the future in his future rerun when the character roster of ZZZ increases in the ice and fire department. So overall, right now, Lighter's value will rise up as the game grows with age. So let's unequip our meta glasses and look at the story for version 1.3, which is basically a character story quest for Yanagi and Lighter. Now for both of these character story quests, I love the pacing of the story, though one exception was the bug in Yanagi's quest on day 1 where you couldn't progress, which happened to me and many other players. I thought it was just like my internet trolling me, but it only happened for PC players. I heard mobile and console was fine, but yeah, PC got screwed over in day 1, which kinda hampered my experience for Yanagi's quest, which kinda ruined the flow of things, but I still enjoyed it the next day. The quest shows Yanagi's daily life of being a single mother for 3 children, Miyabi being the quiet kid, while Harumasa is the mischievous one, and Sukaku is the attention-seeking and hungry kid. The banter and interaction with the group is kind of funny. It got me to chuckle a few times when Yanagi exposes Harumasa's slacking tactics and roast him for being a lazy bum. Finally, some small details, but you can also check their desk being kind of empty, while Yanagi's desk is just full of brimming with papers and documents, showing that nobody wants to do paperwork, excluding Sukaku because I think she'll just eat the paper instead of reporting them. Overall, I love the pacing, the character interactions, the juicy cutscenes, and the unhinged dialogues of the NPCs in the comic strip. And when can we pull for Bang Boost of the Section 6, bro? Maybe they could make merch out of these, cause I would buy them. Or just beg Hoyoverse to give them to me for free. But yeah, anyways, Lighter's story quest was pretty lit and badass. I think if you watch his EP, you can pretty much get his backstory from there. While in-game, this is basically the aftermath of what happened when Big Daddy paid off his debt. He joined the Sons of Caldon, of course being a quiet guy. Bernice mentioned he was like a headache to talk to and open up to. But over time, he grew to love the gang and wants to protect them. This love can be shown by his gauntlet. If you read the description of his gauntlet of how it was made, Big Daddy ordered it, Lucy paid for it, Piper did the delivery, Caesar tuning the gauntlet, and Bernice providing the fuel to power it up. From this description, I feel like every step when making this gauntlet, Lighter started to open up to the gang slowly and surely, which is hella wholesome, man. They're literally a family, man. Holy. And lastly, him being a show-off and having the title as the Red Scarf of the Caledons, which the story demonstrated, showing him that having this title has a heavy responsibility of being the Caledons' OP warrior, and he uses his sunglasses to protect from the light because of an injury he got from the past. So Lighter isn't all bark, but he isn't just biting, he's a literal giga chomping the enemies. Bro's freaking 1v20. I don't know how many Hollow Raiders are there, but that's a lot. And we got his abs reveal at the end of it. Bro, I bet Belle was drooling over the screen over this. She was literally just silent there because obviously she didn't want to ruin the mood, lol. But yeah, love this story quest. Quick and easy and very fruitful. So I beg of you ZZZ devs, please stick with the spacing. I don't want a freaking Genshin and HSR dialogue slogfest in this game, bro. Begging, please. So let's move on to some limited events. The Enna Assistant Program. Take some pictures of some Bang Boost and a memory retention game where it will test you if your ADHD brain can pay attention long enough or test your boomer brain in memory. So I'm kinda indifferent in this event, quick and done. I don't mind them doing like a rerun of it. Limited events where you can try out characters like Yanagi having to solo some mobs and bosses and trying her out in different team comps. While Lighter is also the same in that aspect, but introducing this new taunt mechanic where you hold right click or your dodge, which removes his shades, and when an enemy attacks, he literally follows it up with his aura punches. Maybe they're gonna use this as like a future mechanic for a character in the future, surely? This would be sick though. So this is giving us some limited time rewards for doing this, so obviously this is for people who are on the fence whether they should pull for the characters. It does a pretty good job doing this, so they should keep this up. It's basically a character demo extended version. Help Kai event. This is basically an extended rewards when you're doing your weeklies and dailies. One feedback I want to give for this is why the heck did you not add like the quick access button like the other events? My lazy ass doesn't want to keep teleporting to Kai to claim the rewards. I want it on the event page, bro. Other than that, nothing to comment about. Pretty straightforward. Double drop reward events, straightforward. Always love to get double mats when using my batteries. When sandwich comes a knocking. So we can see the gameplay is just matching the green text bubbles to the sandwiches. So if you can read this is basically a one bang event. I don't think it'll be hard or anything. The one thing I liked about this event is the OST when you're finally delivering the food to the customer, which are the characters that we have like Sokaku, Ellen, Zuyuan. The soundtrack is literally from Blue Archive. I'm telling you, man, that like futuristic kawaii future-based kind of like vibe and like style, literally from Blue Archive, man. I'm not saying Blue Archive made like kawaii future-based. I'm just saying it's very similar to their style. Some quality of life changes. They revamped the weekly task and turned it into like a bingo card game, which is a lot more interesting and gives out more rewards if you do these tasks, which are basically basically just daily routine stuff, some bamboo fixing events, playing the arcade games, and talking to some NPCs. Though they should make it clear which NPC to talk to because sometimes I get lost on which NPC to interact with to finish the quest. Maybe like an exclamation mark on their heads to show that this is the NPC you need to interact with to finish the quest. And this also ties in with the new shop of San Z, which sells some bamboo figurines to display on your shelf. Pretty cool. A nice addition to this is a Miyabi figurine maybe in game. The down bad cat lady had one on her hands, why can't we too? So yeah, I'll give this patch a 6 head pats out of 10. Outside of SBT and Yanagi's gameplay and the TV event I guess, nothing really stands out that much. This is what you call like a filler patch because the next patch is going to be Miyabi, and we know that she'll be the storm that will drain our wallets. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Subscribe so I can stay in the basement, like for the algorithm. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye.